Alright guys, welcome back to another brand new video. Hope you guys are all doing well and of course hanging in there right now for Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin hasn't really been moving. Bitcoin has been in the range of 100k even to 110, right? I get it, right? The price hasn't really been moving, okay, but understand guys, Bitcoin is still above $100,000 and Bitcoin right now is so close. Okay, it is very close to its previous highs of 111. Okay, because as we know, a couple of weeks ago, we did in fact see Bitcoin reaching a new high of $111,000. Almost 112, didn't quite get there, right? It was almost there, but didn't quite get there. It went to $111,000 up 900, right? So understand, okay, Bitcoin right now, it's still almost at a new all-time high. It's not too far off from its previous highs, even reaching a new high. So understand, guys, at any moment, at any time now, we can see Bitcoin reaching new highs, okay? And I want to show you guys more charts for Bitcoin, indicating that, soon enough, right, we will potentially see Bitcoin reaching new highs. But as I told you guys many times, we are in fact in Q3, okay? We are in fact in the month of July. And this month, yes, it's sort of decent, right? But understand next month, okay, August, even September are going to be some, bearish times for Bitcoin, in my opinion, because as you guys know or don't know, August and September, especially September, are pretty bearish, okay, months for Bitcoin. Usually Bitcoin doesn't really perform that great, right, in these months of August, okay, and especially September. So we'll have to see. Maybe this time will be different, right? But let's talk about it, guys. Okay, so the Bitcoin price right now, $108,000. Looking a bit more better than where it was yesterday, right? So it's currently just below 109. Okay, $108,700. So looking pretty good for Bitcoin right now, guys. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, you guys can clearly see Bitcoin has in fact been consolidating, right? You guys can clearly see that. Like I said, we did in fact see Bitcoin reaching a high of 111. Okay, and yeah, ever since then it's dropped. Okay, and it's in between $100,000 to 110. Okay, in between those ranges, right? And at one point, yes, we did actually see Bitcoin breaking below $100,000. Okay, it went as low as like 98k, but it did in fact bounce back up, above $100,000. So so far Bitcoin is still looking pretty good, right? Just remember, we're not too far off from seeing Bitcoin reaching back up to its previous highs of 111, right? You have to clearly see that it's not too far off from reaching a new all-time high, right? It really isn't. So understand, guys, at any moment we can see Bitcoin reaching new highs. But understand, when we do see Bitcoin reaching new highs, I do believe it's going to drop back down to the downside because, like I said, right, August and September, I'm expecting to see some corrections during those time periods, right? I really am, guys. And this is a good thing. And the reason why I say it's a good thing is because we can buy more Bitcoin, right, at cheaper prices. I really do not mind. It gives us time as retail investors like you and I, right? We can buy some more Bitcoin at a lower price. Okay, so I really do not mind if Bitcoin is at this range of 100k to 110, in between these ranges, right? These price ranges. I really don't mind if we do see some strong, price sideways movements, okay? Because I'm buying Bitcoin. I don't know about you guys, but I am accumulating a lot of Bitcoin because I know, right, in the next few months, especially in Q4 towards the end of this year in 2025, man, we're going to see Bitcoin skyrocketing. I do believe new highs are coming for Bitcoin, right? So the crypto market today is slightly up, okay, overall 1%, okay? So, Bitcoin is almost up 1% today. Ethereum, okay, sitting at 2.6, $1,000, and it's up over 2%. So looking pretty good for Ethereum today, much, a little bit more better than, Bitcoin. But yeah, a lot of alts, as you guys can clearly see for the past 24 hours, are in fact in the greens. So altcoins are looking, much better than yesterday, right? Yesterday we saw a fair few alts dropping a little bit, not a huge correction, but we did see, a fair few alts yesterday dropping. But today, you can see a lot of alts are in fact in the greens, right? So looking pretty good. Okay, Casper's up 3%. So yeah, looking pretty good for altcoins today. But yeah, understand, guys. Okay, Bitcoin metrics says $100,000 Bitcoin was the bottom. Okay, and it says, when will a rally to new highs start? Okay, now understand, guys, Bitcoin, like I said, reaching new highs, that can potentially happen very, very soon, because you guys can just clearly see Bitcoin, right? It is not too far off from, its previous highs, right? Like less than 3%. Okay, you guys can clearly see that. So understand, soon enough, we will potentially see Bitcoin, right, going back up to its previous highs, even reaching a new high. That is very, very possible. Okay, please understand that, guys. So a new high is coming for Bitcoin. But like I said, when Bitcoin does reach new highs, I do believe corrections are going to be coming along the way. We're going to see a lot of ups and downs, guys, for Bitcoin, in the month of August and September. Okay, I do believe that's going to be happening. Okay, so Q3 is going to be a rough one. Okay, we're going to see a lot of ups and downs for Bitcoin. That's just my personal opinion. But then in Q4, that is the time when I really do believe Bitcoin is going to really skyrocket. Okay, meaning, the times that I've been telling guys, Bitcoin reaching, 150, 180 to 200K and beyond, it's coming. Okay, I do believe Q4, that's when it will potentially happen, guys. Okay, I could be wrong. Maybe it will happen in Q3, but we'll have to see, because, for the past few years, throughout the years for Bitcoin, right, in Bitcoin history, the month, August and September, these 2 months are pretty, bearish for Bitcoin, especially September. But, times can change. We'll have to see, guys, okay? But understand, okay, Bitcoin consolidation, soon enough, it's going to have a breakout from that resistance, okay? So bullish retest. And it's looking pretty good right now for Bitcoin, right? It really, really is. So understand, soon enough, yes, we're going to see Bitcoin, right, having a breakout. Okay, a new high is coming, guys. Please understand that it's right around the corner. That is very, very possible. And so far, Bitcoin has been holding up very, very well. Okay, it just has been, right? So understand, a new high is coming for Bitcoin, right? So understand, Bitcoin will be reaching a peak. And like I said, there's a lot of different Bitcoin price predictions out there right now in the crypto space. Okay, people that are investors into Bitcoin, there's a lot of different predictions out there, right? People are saying, 200K, 300K, some are saying 500K, some are even saying 700K, right? But as I told you guys many times, personally, I think we will easily see Bitcoin reaching 150 to 180. Easy targets for Bitcoin, right? And I do believe 200K is very, very possible. Okay, even, right, 220 to 250, maybe even $300,000. Okay, and it's quite interesting because I came across something, right? Someone said something, I believe it was X, right? And you guys know how the 4-year cycles work, right? Every 4 years we enter a bull cycle and then we enter a bear cycle, right? And right now we are obviously in a bull market, guys. We're in a bull cycle, right? But this person is saying, right, that maybe next year in 2026, this bull market will potentially continue, right? Maybe the 4-year cycle doesn't, repeat itself anymore, right? Times are changing, okay? And it's quite interesting. Maybe this person is right. Maybe in 2026, this bull market will continue. And that's when we're going to see Bitcoin going absolutely crazy, right? Because supposedly, right, if it is a 4-year cycle, that means next year in 2026, we're going to be entering a bear market, right? But who knows? Times can change, guys, okay? But I really do believe, okay, this year, 2025, is still going to be a good one, right? We are pretty much halfway through this year, but don't you guys worry. I do believe Q3 will be kind of decent, right? I do believe it's going to be decent, but Q4, that's when things will really change for Bitcoin. And that's when I do believe Bitcoin will be skyrocketing, okay, and going parabolic. So understand, Bitcoin will be entering this banana zone, this bull zone. And when Bitcoin is in this zone, we're going to see some parabolic moves happening for Bitcoin, right? So we're going to see a skyrocketing. Understand, guys, the top is not in yet for Bitcoin, right? So understand, Bitcoin is about to start the best part of the cycle, parabolic phase, okay? And when Bitcoin is in this phase, right, it's going to go parabolic. We're going to see some gold candles, okay, forming for Bitcoin. So that's about to happen, guys. So please be prepared for that. Like I said, I do believe this year in 2025 is going to be a good one. Okay, I do believe it's going to be a good one, guys. And I hope you guys are truly prepared for it, right? So get ready, guys, because Bitcoin is about to reach price targets that no one has ever thought about, right? And, people that are not buying into Bitcoin right now, they're gonna foam it in. I'm telling you guys right now. I've seen this many, many times. People that are not buying into Bitcoin right now, that are not DCAing into Bitcoin at all, they're gonna foam it in when Bitcoin is skyrocketing. It's just how humans operate, right? So that is that. But understand, guys, okay? Bitcoin will eventually be reaching $1 million. Whether you like it or not, okay, Bitcoin is going to be reaching $1 million Bitcoin. And it's funny, okay, because I had a conversation with someone literally just last night. Okay, I was out, right, and I had this conversation with someone, and we were talking about Bitcoin, right? I bring up that topic about Bitcoin. And this person, okay, he's not a Bitcoiner. He doesn't actually believe in Bitcoin, right? But he was telling me, right, that he doesn't believe Bitcoin will be reaching $1 million. And I try to convince him that it will, that he should, you know, buy some Bitcoin now because it's not too late to buy Bitcoin. Because he was telling me it's too late to buy Bitcoin. You know, Bitcoin is above 100K. It's too late to buy Bitcoin. But I told him you don't need to buy a full Bitcoin. You can just buy a fraction of a Bitcoin, right? Small amounts of Bitcoins, because it's a big deal, as I've been telling you guys many times, right? In my videos, you know, you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. Start small, right? Start with, you know, 0.01 Bitcoin as your goal. Get to 1% of a Bitcoin and then 10% of a Bitcoin, right? 0.1 Bitcoin. And I do believe, honestly, I do believe owning 0.1 Bitcoin, just 10% of a Bitcoin, it is going to be a big deal down in the future, long term, of course, right? And then eventually, once you keep stacking stats, you keep, you know, DCing into Bitcoin, I do believe you will eventually get to a full Bitcoin. But understand, guys, okay, Bitcoin, there's a max supply. It's very, very simple, okay? Max supply, 21 million Bitcoins. It's scarce. It's truly is a scarce asset. And in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure you guys can agree with this one, that Bitcoin is truly is the most scarce asset out there in the world. There is just not enough Bitcoins to go around for everyone. There's 8 billion people that live on Earth. Do the math. Not enough for everyone. Okay. Even all the millionaires in the world. How many millionaires are there? Like 58 million people or 59 million people. Okay, that are, you know, millionaires. Not even all the millionaires can get a full Bitcoin. Even if they wanted to, they can't because there is just not enough. So if you guys are watching this video right now and you own a full Bitcoin or more, understand, hold it for long term. Not financial advice. Do whatever you want, but I'm telling you right now, hold for long term. Okay, this digital asset, right, Bitcoin, is going to be reaching $1 million and beyond. Okay, that is coming, guys. Please understand that. And this chart just shows it, right? The potential that we will see Bitcoin reaching $1 million in the next upcoming few years down the road. Okay, and understand, guys, Bitcoin reaching $1 million is not crazy. Okay, because understand, people like Saylor himself, okay, Michael Saylor, he has predicted by the year 2045, and I've shown you guys this many times, right? The base case, the bear case, okay, $3 million per Bitcoin. That's the bearish case. That's the bear case, guys. Right? That's the worst case scenario for Bitcoin. $3 million by the year 2045. Now look at the base case, $13 million. Right? $13 million, guys. Okay. And the most bullish scenario is $49 million. Okay, by the year 2045. So understand, guys, get to a full Bitcoin. Owning a full Bitcoin will be life-changing. Even just small amounts of Bitcoin is a big deal, right? Like I said earlier, 0.1 Bitcoin is a big deal, right? If Bitcoin is going to $13 million, that 0.1 Bitcoin will be worth like what, over $1 million, if I'm not correct. I'm pretty sure it is, right? I can't do the math here, but I'm pretty sure if you own 0.1 Bitcoin and Bitcoin's, you know, going to $13 million and beyond, that 0.1 Bitcoin, that 0.1 Bitcoin will be worth over $1 million. Just think about that, guys, right? Just think about that. Okay, so understand, owning a full Bitcoin is a big deal. Okay, it really, really is. Even small amounts of Bitcoins, okay, 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, right, half of Bitcoin, it's a big deal. Okay, it really, really is. And this is the last thing that I want to show you guys, okay? So holding Bitcoin has been profitable, okay, for over 99.8% of its history. And this is why you guys should hodl Bitcoin for long term. And I told you guys this many times. You need to buy Bitcoin and just simply hold it. That's all you got to do. Just buy Bitcoin and hold it for long term. Okay. hold your Bitcoins for long term, guys. Okay, this is your retirement per se, right? This is like your way of getting out of the matrix, quitting your job that you hate and whatnot, right? Becoming wealthy, okay? Building, generational wealth as well, okay? Doing this for yourself and for your family, right? So understand, guys, everyone that has been buying Bitcoin for the past few years, they're all up in profit. And the people right now, okay, everyone that has been buying Bitcoin in the past, like last year, 2024, 2023, 2022, and so on, right? We're all up in profit right now. If you've been buying and holding, you're all up in profit. Again, for the people out there that are not in profit in Bitcoin, right? Maybe you've been starting to buy Bitcoin, it's above 100K, you're just starting to buy into Bitcoin. This is good. It's still early. I approve, right? Because as I told you guys earlier, Bitcoin will eventually be reaching $1 million and beyond, right? Not just $1 million, 3 million, 13 million, and beyond, 49 million, so on and so on. Okay, this is going to be happening, right? So understand, guys, holding Bitcoin long term is always profitable. Okay, it is. If you're buying Bitcoin and you're simply holding your Bitcoins for long term, you will be up in profit. Understand that. Okay, long term, of course, right? If you're buying Bitcoin now, you're not in profit. Just keep buying, DCAing, and holding, most importantly, right? And you'll see in the next 5, 8, 10 years from now, you will be in a massive profit just by simply buying and holding Bitcoin. Okay, all you got to do is just those 2 simple steps: buying and, most importantly, holding. That's very important, holding your Bitcoins, guys, right? Just ignore the noise, okay? Because Bitcoin right now is a very, very, volatile asset. It goes up and down a whole bunch. I get that. But long term, it's always going up. And look at this chart. It just clearly shows you guys that, right? Right? You guys can clearly see Bitcoin for the past few years, right, has been going up. It's always been reaching new highs. Yes, it's volatile, right? But it's always recovering and going back up to the upside and reaching new highs. I call this a volatile uptrend, right? That's what I like to call this, because you guys can clearly see, yes, Bitcoin does go up and down a lot, right? It is very, very volatile, but it's always recovering and going back up to the upside. Okay, you guys clearly see that in this chart. Okay, so understand, right? Holding Bitcoin long term is always profitable. So always think long term with Bitcoin, guys. Okay, always, right? You're buying and holding for your future self and for your family. Okay, so that is that. But guys, I appreciate all you guys for watching this video. Give this video a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel. I will, of course, keep you guys up to date with Bitcoin. Okay, so stay tuned for that. But I do believe a big move is coming for Bitcoin, right? So stay tuned, and yeah, I hope you guys are prepared for the next leg up. So that being said, I appreciate all you guys, and yeah, I will catch you guys all in my next video. Have a good one, guys.